Consecration to Saint Joseph. Day 5. God, the Holy Spirit, have mercy on us. The Holy Spirit wants you to know and love Saint Joseph. With the exception of Our Lady's life, the Holy Spirit was more active in the life of Saint Joseph than in any other saint. The earthly father of Jesus never did anything without seeking the direction of the Holy Spirit. Saint Joseph's docility to the Holy Spirit made it possible for him to communicate with God, even while he slept. Saint Joseph wants you to be docile to the direction of the Holy Spirit so that you can be led in the ways of holiness. What is holiness anyway? Is it some unattainable spiritual summit you can never hope to reach? No, it is not. Holiness is living in intimate, loving communion with God. More specifically, holiness is observing the two great commandments of love of God and neighbour, avoiding sin, living a life of virtue, and abiding in sanctifying grace. None of this is possible without the Holy Spirit in your life. Wherever Saint Joseph is present, the Holy Spirit is present. And Saint Joseph would tell you that if you wanted to be filled with the Holy Spirit, there is one absolutely necessary thing: prayer. Without prayer, you will never be able to have intimacy with God. Without prayer, you will not be able to follow the direction of the Holy Spirit. To be holy, you need to imitate Saint Joseph. You need to maintain a flame with love of God and neighbour through committing to a devout interior life. Don't panic after reading this. You don't have to become a monk or a nun. Holiness is for everyone. Yet no matter what your vocation in life, holiness is only attained by those who pray and have an active interior life, ignited and sustained by the sacraments, fueled by prayer and a life of charity. Saint Joseph is a model of the interior life for all his children. Saint Joseph was not a priest, yet he is holier than all priests, including the patron of priests, Saint John Vianney. After Jesus and Mary, Saint Joseph is the holiest, most prayerful and most virtuous person who has ever lived. He avoided anything and everything that displeased the Holy Spirit. How did he do it? Prayer. Through prayer, Saint Joseph perfectly exercised the virtues of faith, hope, and charity, as well as the moral virtues of prudence, temperance, justice, and fortitude. Consider this quote by Saint Joseph Sebastian Pecleza. Quote, "Consider that the entire life of Saint Joseph was interior and hidden in God, so little known to the world that but a few holy writers mention him in a few places, and of his death give no information. His was a life of prayer, quiet work, and constant sacrifice, and at the same time a life shining with the splendour of all virtues." End quote. There has never been another quite like Saint Joseph, and there never will be. Yet you can become another Joseph in the world. You can become an apparition of Saint Joseph for others. If you imitate Saint Joseph's dedication to prayer and the interior life, you can resemble your spiritual father. Consecration to Saint Joseph will increase the Holy Spirit in your life. Through consecration to Saint Joseph, the Holy Spirit will recognize Saint Joseph in you and pour extraordinary graces into your heart, your mind, and your soul. You can become a saint. Ask the Holy Spirit to make you into another Saint Joseph. Ask the Holy Spirit to fill you with the graces similar to those he gave the paternal heart of Saint Joseph. In the words of Pope John Paul II, "Those souls most sensitive to the impulses of the divine love have rightly seen in Saint Joseph a brilliant example of the interior life." End quote. Now we invite you to read the Gifts of the Holy Spirit on page 153 of the book, and then to pray the Litany of Saint Joseph on page 233.